Hey, yo.
Hello, everyone. It's 60 degrees out today, and I'm just like, wow, that vitamin D does something.
It does.
So I am a little too hyped. Like, coffee. Step outside. That's how I feel right now. Anyway, so...
Well, I was about to say nicotine. I said caffeine. Who?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. What rescued our relationship?
Yes.
So Felix and I, we are going on 5 years being married. This upcoming May 16th. We got married in 2020.
Facts.
Whoa, you know what I mean? It was crazy. But yeah, but we got married in 2020. Yeah. We got engaged in 2019. And so that's why it hit us so crazy and everything. But
maybe you can show them me in my trench coat, like with the...
I don't think... we don't have the video. But we've been together now for 5 years. We've known each other for a decade now. So
we met in high school.
It was when we first got married, things were... How do you want to go through that?
We hit some challenges. Like, it was like... I wouldn't even say, was it? I don't think it was the first year. Was it the first year?
Maybe like that 7th month.
Yeah, it was like right in the middle. And it was weird because it was just like, it was kind of like a blind spot. And like that kind of happens sometimes, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in, like sometimes it's like a blind spot just hits you. Like we weren't going in with problems, we had a wonderful, just like even first 6 months. And then somewhere in that middle, there was just like a friction, a pressing, or like...
And also, married couples, if you're watching this and you're married, let's stop telling people, oh, you're just in the honeymoon phase. Because that's something that people told us so much. And so we were just married, and like everyone was like, oh, wait, we'll just give it some more time.
It's like,
just give it some more time.
Just keep on living.
And it was just
keep
like,
on living. That's crazy.
My God, thank you for encouragement. But anyway, and so these are just different things that we felt like we did through the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. And it just restored our relationship. We just feel like it just got us back up alive.
Rejuvenated
we
us.
are just really great. I love it. I mean, how do you feel about our marriage?
I feel ecstatic. Like even right now. Like even right now, it's lit. Like it's a sunny day. We're vibing. The love is there. Our sex life is amazing. Just everything. We're more focused more than ever before. Especially this year. There's such a year of focus. With us being just in this place, we wanted to share how we got to this place. Because again, sometimes you can go through those seasons in your relationship where it's like, what is going on? Like who are, and what it was, I think, again, and we're going to get into it. I want to just say immediately, it wasn't necessarily us that were coming at each other. There were also like outside elements and just how different things happen. I mean, you got to think, we got married in the peak of COVID. Like we got married in 2020 as well. So it was like, it was a lot going on emotionally. There was a lot going on even politically, just even economic, just all of these things were happening, and we felt like we were just rocking in this boat, and the storm felt like it got in our boat.
A little water splashed in that boat.
Like water like got in it, and
then we kept, and we're like, oh.
It's like, and then I looked at her and I thought she did it, and I was like, wait a minute, like, did you slap me? It was like, no, that was the water, I think.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Then it's like we were both upset, the boat's sinking, and we're just like, okay, God, what bucket of wisdom do you have for us to get this water out?
Yes.
And so let's go into number one.
Number uno.
Number one is how we speak to each other.
Oh, man.
And this isn't one of those things where when he speaks correctly to me, I speak correctly to him. And then when he gets a little off, now we don't need to match each other's energy all the time.
Yeah.
That's
facts.
We don't. Because sometimes you just want to, okay, guys, I told you, it's sunny out today. Y'all don't want to see me in the summer.
That's you, though.
Y'all don't want to see me. These twists are in for a reason. The fro's coming out, y'all. Because, anyway.
Be you, though.
But, yes, you don't always want to match each other's energy, because what we need to realize as well is that there's elements going on outside of our marriage, whether it's his work, whether it's my work, whether it's a friendship that's going through this, or an insecurity that's building up in a certain place. And so sometimes, like, you know, say if I spoke to Felix crazy and he matched me, now we're both here and here. But moments where he just stayed higher and was like, okay, we can, and here's the thing, he can draw that boundary and be like, hey, we're not going to speak to each other like this. Let's just like take a moment to breathe. Or or see past it and be like, babe, like that's not really you, what's going on? And open up, be willing to open up and let them into that. And so sometimes, like, if you're feeling a little smart and it's like, you know what, you're right, I'm so sorry. Like, at my coworker today, she didn't do her job, so now I had to go and do that, and I came here, and I apologize for putting it on you. But sometimes, like, when you, like, I don't know if y'all have seen movies and stuff for like a parent's talking to a kid and you saw all that the kid went through in that movie, and the parents like, well, go to your room, and then like they're like, fine, and it's like you're not getting anywhere.
You're not, and then you're not seeing again the deeper matters. And I think it, again, how you said it comes from a deeper root. So we were trying to extinguish the fires that were on the surface, or it's like when you, I don't know, in certain fires, it's like if you don't get to the actual root cause of the fire, you're just kind of, or I wouldn't say that.
If you're spraying water in the air, if you're not, it's not going to kill the fire because you need to spray at the ground.
You got to spray at exactly where the fire's coming from. So again, like it wasn't necessarily, okay, she said this to me that way. It was something that was in her that hadn't been diffused, and then it'll cause me to react in a way, not understanding like, oh, she went through something. She's probably had a hard day. She's probably, got off the phone with somebody and something happened. A lot of times, again, things can rub off on us. So even if we're in environments where there's strife, say you came from an environment, again, like you said, at work, there's strife. There was contention between coworkers. Maybe they were talking about something. That environment can rub off on you, and you can bring that environment home.
Yeah.
So while I think it's just her just turned, and it's like in this, kind of mood, I can say, oh, like, is everything good? Like, how was work? You know what I'm saying? What happened? And we can, instead of me just fighting back, like, rah, 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 like, I can get to the root cause and we can move forward in a manner that is healthy.
Yeah, and again, we're not excusing talking to each other crazy.
No, definitely not.
You definitely don't want to continue to do that, but also you need to get down to the root of where that's coming from. Because if you don't mind me sharing and stuff, and we can cut it out if you don't and stuff. But like, it was like one time where Felix was a little bit more on the shorter end, and I was like, what's going on? And then turns out like a situation happened, and it was like something like within him was just like, man, like am I man enough, or am I this, or am I that? And so if I'm talking to him and then he talks to me, so now I see what's going on, and I can speak life into that area.
Exactly.
I can pray into that area, and then boom, now we're coming back stronger. So it's just really like taking off the first layer and seeing if there's anything else going on. And if there's not, if you just got a stank attitude, you just need to work on that also. But if it's not just a stank attitude, but it's things going on, we need to work on it. And you just need to honor, even in moments where you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter if you feel like it. You just need to do it. And that's what we've been learning with working out. You just need to do it.
It doesn't have to feel like it. You don't have to feel like it. But in the end, it's going to yield a peaceable fruit that's going to sow peace in your marriage instead of strife.
Yeah.
Yes.
So number two is how we see each other. And so how we see each other is just expecting the best off that.
Yeah.
Not just like addressing a certain character trait with each other where it's like, oh, you just mad, or oh, you're just, and you just put a baseline on who they are. And you, like, when you are addressing, like, your husband, when you're addressing, and here's the thing, as we're speaking to you all, this is something that when you both come into it makes so much harmony. And so I do understand for people who are like, okay, it's only on my side, but just believe that God is going to work on their heart. But when it comes to how we see each other, and so when I look at Felix, I need to see him as a man of God that he is. I need to see him the way that God sees him. He needs to see me in the way that God created me to be, in the way that God sees me. Because when we see each other from a lesser place, we're going to start to treat each other from that lesser place, and then we're going to stay at that lesser place. But again, even how we see each other, we can call each other up higher. And so I know who you are. Because, and even in moments where, like, say we have an argument and I'm like, this isn't you, like, I know who you are. And it's not from a place of like trying to be manipulative with my words, but it's like, no, like, I know who you are. This isn't it. And then even with me, it's like, I know who you are. Like, you're a strong woman. Like, this isn't going to break. And it's just like speaking to each other from a place that God sees us, because like the enemy wants, because like that's the enemy wants us to join forces with him. He wants us to confirm what he says about our spouses. And I keep saying husbands, but it's because I'm a wife, but this goes vice versa.
Yeah, it goes the same way. It goes the same way. And seeing you won't talk to a king a certain way. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't talk to your boss a certain way. Why? Because they're at a certain position. They hold an office. My wife holds the office of a wife. And in God's eyes, we're co-heirs of grace together. So we're heirs. We're royalty. So if I wouldn't speak to an officer or someone in authority or someone who has a royalty, has a prestige, has a place that demands respect and that demands and that requires love and care. If I don't know that, I'll just treat it like I'm talking to a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking to a homie. Like we're not.
That was so mean.
No, well, in our case, we did. When we first got together, we were friends. We were
homies.
Yeah, we met in high school. We had the same interests. But again, as I see her as a queen, as I see her as royalty, I'll realize, wait a minute, I'm speaking to a queen. I'm speaking to God's daughter. So what does that look like? And it now that when I see her a certain way, my reaction is different. But if I just see her as my servant, or my, just my help, she's just the helper, the cook, the cleaner, the one who watches the kid, if I just see her as that, I can talk to her any way. You can talk. Many people talk to their servants or their employers any way they want.
Or their waitresses.
Let's
stop doing that, y'all.
Let's stop. Also, when you see your spouse a certain way, you'll even hold more value for them. So you'll care for them more. You'll pray for them more. You'll operate in a way that's like, wow, this is treasure. And I want to treat something that has a value. Just like some people treat their car. I don't know. Some people don't treat their car good at all. But something that's of value, I treat it well. I dress it well. I handle it well. And we have to see ourselves as that, because that's biblical. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. We are made in his image. We're created in his image. So when we realize that, when we come to that awareness, our reaction will be different.
It will. And it's just so honoring to the Lord and how he wants us to treat, because it's like God, like he sees us in a certain light. And so even if you need help with any of these points, just ask the Lord to just open your eyes to that. Like, God, open my eyes to help me see my husband. Lord, open my eyes to help me see my wife in the way that you do. And when I tell you, like, I know for sure that he will give you his eyes to see them, because again, like this is his son. I'm his daughter, and he loves us so much. He doesn't want us to be treated like trash. And it can even help within our intimacy as well. And like how we see each other. Because like if I see him like, oh, he's a loser, or she sees me, it's like, oh, she's this or he's that. Like, how do you think you're going to treat them? Because like how you see them is how you treat them.
And the third one is how we speak about each other outside of each other. Like when we're in settings, when we're with friends, when we're out, just how we speak about each other. And it goes to the same principle of how we see each other and how we speak to each other. But sometimes, I don't know, there's a temptation to, when you're out in public or when you're around people, you can act a different way. And sometimes it can be at the expense of each other's character. So again, for instance, it's like we're joking and I say a joke about my wife that was actually even an insecurity, because we're all maybe you're just in, everybody's joking and you say a joke about your wife or your husband and it's actually an insecurity. And while everyone's laughing and they might even laugh a little bit, but deep inside it just was inappropriate. And that is important, because it shows that when we're out in public and we speak about each other a good way, that we're unified and that we're one and we're not against each other, or we're not like out of sync. But it also displays our unity, even how we display ourselves even in a public setting. And again, all of this is even a fruit of your inward setting of who you guys are together.
Yeah.
But it's also sometimes there's a temptation to say something inappropriate, say something that, or this is a good one, exposing a weakness that she has in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a big no-no. You never want to uncut, because it's almost like revealing a nakedness in public. Something that was supposed to be hidden and covered by you exposed it in public. And there's a difference between when you're getting counseling and stuff like that. But when you're, so there's a difference. But when you're like in a setting with friends,
where it's not an agreed setting,
it's
like
not
if you're
an
speaking
agreed
to
setting.
mentors or you're speaking to counsel, and there's people who you'd be like, hey, honey, we both agree that these are people who we can just speak freely to. Like I trust them, you trust them. Boom, then okay. But if not, then
it's different. So that is important, because you don't want to get home and it's like, that was weird. Like, and that's happened to us before, where it's like, even though I may not have done it like directly, it came out and it just wasn't, again, even to where even the people on the outside are like, are y'all okay? Yeah. It's kind of like, again, it doesn't show a unity, and it kind of shows like, that was weird. You know what I mean? And it also shows respect for one another. It's a level of respect, and it's a level of, we respect each other, we're unified, we love each other, and we're on the same team.
And so are you sowing seeds for when you get home to make love, or are you sowing seeds to make an argument when you get home? Me? Because like I've seen that happen all the time, where it's like someone said something that they shouldn't have, and you know that when they got in the car, it's like, you know what, you gotta... Imagine if you were just uplifting the person. Imagine if you were speaking with honor. You're like, when you get home, like whatever y'all do to like get into that moment. It's
throw
like
some jazz.
Jazz is crazy. I was gonna say it, but it's like, why is jazz the first thing people think about? If you're gonna let the saxophone go,
right?
But no, but no, just like really, like what are you setting up yourself for? Like, are you setting yourself up to buy flowers from a place of I love you, or are you setting yourself up to buy flowers from a place of I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
And it's okay, like, if you make mistakes and stuff, but it's just like really learn from those things and set that up. It's just realizing as well that this is a marriage. God designed marriage. And so, again, I know I keep speaking about the enemy. He's small, he's defeated. We completely get that. But also, when you open up the door with your mouth speaking against your person when no one is around, you're inviting little foxes within your marriage. And so a lot of times it'll be a woman, let's keep it real, you're talking about your man and and then she like it, because it's like her tentacles tentacles just like kind of come out and be like, okay, like it's okay to go and speak to this guy, or it's kind of like and then they start complimenting him like, oh my gosh, or vice versa. A man can start macking up on someone else because what you're doing is you're showing that it's not a unified front. So if it's not unified, now people are like, oh, there's an opening,
there's a door.
Like there's no opening, we're unified, nothing can get in.
Can't get in. What I mean? If we tight like this, it's like it's a wall. Like I can't get around it. I can't slip under it. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
That was actually really.
That was like a self-defense.
Yeah,
like,
we loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the last one, it's just boundaries with people outside.
Yeah.
And this is just something that we had to learn. It's just like our marriage is our marriage.
Facts.
And this is our priority. This is our family.
Absolutely.
And so it's just like if someone speaks against your person, and again, I just want to make this disclaimer. This of course goes for unabusive households and all that stuff. So if it is abuse going on and they're like, girl, you might want to listen to them and distance yourself and kind of seek wisdom, from counsel and stuff. But this is like outside of that. So outside of that and everything, like if someone is just speaking against your man and speaking against your woman, what you might be like, oh man, they're just tripping. No, what they're doing is they're planting seeds in your mind.
Exactly.
Even if they don't know it, it's planting seeds in your mind that will bear the fruit of strife. Yeah. And that strife tree will mature into a divorce tree. Yeah. And so it starts off so small, y'all. Starts off small. But it's just like, because think about it, even the like red oak tree, like the redwood trees out in California, they started off with the seed, right? And now look how big they are. And so it's just like really just making sure that you're protecting your garden and knocking off any type of any type of seeds that are not of God. If it's not in his word, do not plant it in your garden because it's going to produce fruit of the enemy. Yeah. What is that going to do? Try to choke out the rest of all that you work for. Exactly. And so it's just like, whether it's a mother-in-law, father-in-law, mom, dad, sister, cousin, niece, nephew, whoever it is, like, if you just ask God for discernment over your ear and be like, okay, Lord, I filter this through your word. Is this of you? Is this going to bring unity into my marriage? Or is it going to make arguments? Because being honest, like, I didn't have boundaries up like that when it came to our marriage at first. And we were arguing a lot. And we were arguing a lot. And then I think it was like either a video or someone gave me some wise counsel, and they were just like, you know, I think it was like a video or something. And they're like, if you've ever noticed, like, whenever you get done speaking to someone, like whether on the phone or in person, and then next you know, you just get irritated with it. You got to really check that, because it's like, why are you always in strife mode after you get off the phone? Why are you always in strife mode every time you get done finishing up your coffee date with this one friend or this one fill in the blank friend or family member, whoever it is? You have to protect your heart. And if they are not for the girl, and this is marriage. This is marriage. This is marriage for sure. If they are not in the place right now where they are adding fruit and life into your marriage, that volume needs to go on 0. Yeah. And it's okay.
You know, all the way. Even disconnect the, headphone.
Don't throw, that wasn't them. That was that was the noise.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, it is. It's very important. And again, what she said before, it's the little foxes. So it may not, it can be slight. It's certain conversations you're having, certain words. It's creating pictures. It's creating arguments in your mind already.
You arguing with them in your mind before you get off the phone.
You're already thinking about it. You ever been that where you're just like, you're arguing in your head and you're not even with the person, but it's like you're arguing and it's like, this is how I'm going to win that one. you're creating files.
I'll say this.
Literally, but guess what, guys? Love doesn't keep record of wrong. Love believes all things. The best, like she said earlier, the best. I just really sense that somebody's watching and you feel a condemnation. You feel like you were in one of these lists that we list and you were on the side that was sowing the wrong seeds, or you maybe allowed certain things to slip in. A lot of times when we feel condemned or we feel guilty about something a mistake that we've made, is we'll kick ourselves when we're down. It's like we're already down, so it's like you just kick yourself, so you'll just go into continual spirals of defeat and just like there's no hope. We just wanted to say that God is there. God can restore years. God can make alive your relationship again. He turns the water into wine. He saves the best wine for last. And he can do that in your marriage. He can do that in your relationship. So don't take that condemnation on, because the Bible says there's now therefore no condemnation to them that are in Christ. So when you just receive his forgiveness, receive his mercy, receive his grace, you will find beauty in your marriage again. And maybe if the other party isn't on the same page, you can pray for them, because the fervent prayers of the righteous avail much. So we love you guys, and just know all of these that we listed, again, if you missed it in some of them, this is just to teach you. And so now you have tools, and now you're aware of these things, and you can shut them down and to defend. But then on the offense, you can say, babe, I love you. You're the best. I'm proud of you. We're going to do this. We're going to overcome. Now you can sow good seeds. So you're defending the bad seeds. You're uprooting, but you also have to sow. So keep sowing good seeds. Keep loving on each other. Keep surprising each other with kisses. And remember what you got, why you guys came together. Again, I know a lot of people say it, but you always have to remember what brought you two together. And when you think about that, you think about the goodness that brought you together, you'll say, you know what? This thing is little. It's not worth losing my good thing. Yeah. And if you got a good thing, shouts out to you. Comment in the comments, like this video, and know that God wants to protect your good things. So we love you guys.
Yeah.
It's the Wise Family signing out. Till next time. Love you guys.